Now, there may be a shortage of diesel as the country enters level 3 lockdown. 20 major depots are dry, 4 are running low and 7 more have restrictions. A diesel refueling specialist, TruckFuelNet, shared this information with 700 of its clients this past week. The situation is likely to turn around as fuel refineries start reopening under level 3. Joining us now to talk some more about it is the SA Petroleum Industry Association's Avhapfani Tshifularo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, this information note was sent out by a diesel refueling specialist. What information do you have about the supply of diesel across the country at the moment?
So, good morning. As we moved to level 4, we started to see some economic activities ramping up. But during the course of last week, at the beginning, we started to see like a sudden increase in the demand of diesel. And that caught us by surprise because we were more anticipating petrol to pick up a little bit stronger as more people were starting to drive back to work. But the industrial activities, we thought they would take a little bit longer to improve. But as we proceed, we had to address the situation by rationing the available diesel stock levels just to make sure that it allows us to preserve the available stock levels up until the end of May, which is this weekend. So, but as we are entering level 3, beginning of Monday next week, the 2 refineries that were also on unplanned shutdown, and they are also coming back. So they've started ramping up on the diesel production. So we are hoping to see a much more stronger diesel supply come the beginning of level 3 on Monday.
It's been a difficult time during lockdown for many businesses, and in your industry, fuel suppliers, petrol station owners have suffered the brunt from what we understand of the lockdown, because there's been a huge decrease in the number of just ordinary cars on the road, and only under level 4 did we really start seeing more trucks on the road as they start moving supplies around the country. What are you hearing from petrol station owners and fuel suppliers at the moment about the state of their businesses as we head into level 3?
So I think indeed you are correct. There was a demand destruction right from week 1 of the lockdown. We started to see the demand of petroleum products falling sharply. So it was probably ranging between 60 and 95%. Particularly petrol was hardest hit. It was around about 70% demand destruction. And jet fuel in particular, because the aviation sector has really come to a standstill. That one is still probably 90% down. But as far as petrol and diesel at the service station level, it's starting to pick up, but we are nowhere near to the same demand levels we were before the lockdown. So it's still going to be a long road ahead. We assume that by now the demand probably starting to pick up from the 70% down it was to roughly starting to pick up by 30%. But we anticipate the hardship to continue at service station level as well.
Now, from the road users' point of view, there was a bit of rolling of the eyes across the country when news came through that there'd be a petrol price drop in the last parts of May or so, because people were saying, we're not using our cars, what use is a petrol price drop for us right now? But of course that's got to do with the decline of the petroleum rate, both here and abroad. What are you expecting from the prices of petrol and diesel going forward over the next few weeks and months?
Yeah, so the international, oil prices are correcting themselves. You recall that, just before the lockdown, there was a big, disagreement between the members of OPEC Plus, and in the middle of the corona pandemic, and they reach an agreement. That agreement is starting now to show positive sign on the recovery of international oil price. So that has strengthened, the international oil price in such a way that, because they influence local prices here, we're starting to see that, the oil prices are like increasing, while the rand also did not help us. It has weakened over a period of time. Because of those two main factors, we are anticipating that the price that's going to be announced by the government, effective for Wednesday, it will be much higher than what people were expecting. So it will be probably about rand plus on petrol.
Okay, thank you so much for that update. That's Avhapfani Tshifularo. He's with the South African Petroleum Industry Association. We thank him for his time this morning.